Have you ever walked into a place and felt a chill that had nothing to do with the weather? A place that looks normal by day, maybe even charming, but at night, it watches you. Like the walls are breathing, like the shadows have eyes. I'm not talking about ghosts rattling chains or jump scares that vanish when the lights come on. I'm talking about something older, quieter, the kind of horror that doesn't want to scare you. It wants to become part of you. This story isn't just fiction, it's a warning, because what happened to me could happen to anyone. And it all began with a door I wasn't supposed to open. I'd just moved into the city, a fresh start, or so I thought. You know that feeling when you're trying to convince yourself everything's going to be okay, even though nothing really feels right? That's what this apartment was for me. It was on the third floor of an old pre-war building, faded red bricks on the outside, creaky stairs, and a strange silence that wrapped around you the moment you stepped inside. My unit wasn't much, but it had character. One bedroom, tiny kitchen, old hardwood floors that moaned under your every step. A dusty ceiling fan spun lazily above my head, even when I was sure I'd turned it off. The windows faced a brick wall. No sunlight, just a soft, permanent dimness, like the apartment existed in some kind of shadow pocket even at noon. Across the hall, though, was something that always unsettled me. A door. Just a door. Identical in shape and color to all the others. But while the others had welcome mats, apartment numbers, and the occasional potted plant, this one had nothing. No name. No knob scratches. No light beneath it. It looked wrong. Not damaged. Not scary. Just empty. As if it wasn't a door to a room, but a cover to something that was never meant to be opened again. I asked the landlord about it one morning while signing my lease. He barely looked up, just said, "Sealed. Long time ago. Nothing to worry about." And that was it. No story. No warning. Just that cold, casual brush-off that only made the curiosity sink its claws in deeper. I told myself it didn't matter, that I'd moved here for peace, not ghost stories. But every time I stepped out of my door, every time I passed it in the hallway, I swear, I could feel something on the other side. Not waiting, not watching, just listening. At first it was just little things, the kind of things you ignore, until you can't anymore. I'd hear creaks in the hallway when no one was around. Not heavy footsteps, just soft, careful movements like someone tiptoeing, slowly dragging a foot across the wood. Sometimes I'd hear a faint tap, like fingernails on the wall behind my head when I was trying to sleep. Not loud, just persistent. I started brushing it off. Told myself, old building, it's just settling. Pipes, maybe. But deep down, I knew it wasn't the pipes, because pipes don't whisper your name. Yeah. One night, I heard it, clear as day. A whisper, right behind the wall near my bed. Manish. My blood ran cold. I jumped up, flicked on the lights, pressed my ear to the wall. Nothing. Just the hum of electricity and my heart pounding so hard it hurt. I didn't sleep that night. I kept staring at the wall, waiting to hear it again. But silence can be worse than sound sometimes. A few nights later, I woke up at 3:13 a.m., not because of a noise, but because of a feeling. You know that sense when you just know someone's watching you? The air was thick, heavy, like something was in the room, pressing down on my chest. I got up, stepped out into the hallway, half asleep but fully terrified. And there it was. That door, the one across the hall. I don't know why, but I walked toward it. The hallway light flickered above me. Everything was still. Not a sound in the whole building. Now hit the punch. Sudden sharp sound cue with voice drop. And then, I heard it. A knock. From the inside of that sealed door. Not a loud one. Just a soft, deliberate knock. as if someone or something knew I was there, knew I was listening. I froze. My body wanted to run, but my curiosity, it rooted me to the floor. Then came the second knock. A little louder, a little closer. I leaned in, just a little, and that's when I heard it. "Help me." I stepped back, my throat dry, my hands shaking. But the door never moved. It just stood there, waiting. I couldn't move. My feet felt like they were nailed to the floor. That voice, it wasn't just someone asking for help. It felt like it came from inside my head, like it knew me, like it had been waiting for me to finally listen. I should have walked away, I should have run, but something pulled me in. My hand rose, trembling, toward the door handle. I didn't want to touch it, but I needed to. It was cold, ice cold. As I gripped the handle, I saw it, just for a moment. My reflection in the doorknob. But it wasn't me. Not really. My face was smiling, a wide, crooked grin I knew I wasn't making. And then, click. The door opened, not all the way. Just enough for the darkness inside to spill out like smoke. The air turned thick, heavy, like the room behind it hadn't breathed in years. I stepped in. It was the same room, the exact same room as mine. Same bed, same furniture, same broken ceiling fan spinning slowly overhead, but everything was covered in a thick layer of dust, like time had stopped, like no one had lived here for decades. I turned, and that's when I saw it. On the bed was a body, pale, motionless, wearing the same clothes I had on, eyes wide open, mouth frozen in a silent scream. It was me, lying there, dead, but I was standing, watching myself. I stepped back, heartbeat thundering in my ears. The walls around me began to whisper, soft voices layered over each other, thousands of them, echoing in languages I didn't understand. Some sounded like screams, others like prayers. I turned to leave, but the door was gone. No knob, no hinges, just a smooth wall behind me. I was trapped. And then, from behind me, the voice returned. "You opened it. Now, it opens you." I turned around slowly. Every muscle in my body screamed at me to run, but there was nowhere to go. The voice had stopped, but the air, it felt like it was still speaking, without sound, without language, just knowing. And then, I saw it, the body on the bed. It was no longer lying down, it was sitting upright, eyes locked on mine, unblinking, unmoving. Its mouth began to open, slowly, like the bones had forgotten how. No scream, no breath, just a silent void behind its lips. A blackness so deep it felt like it could swallow me whole. Then, it spoke, but not with its mouth. I heard it inside me, a soundless message carved into my thoughts. "You don't belong in there." The shadows on the wall began to move. Not flicker, move. Crawling like insects, circling me, inching closer with every blink. The dust in the air started rising, as if gravity had reversed. And then I saw something I'll never forget. The mirror on the wall. I wasn't in it. What stood in the reflection was the thing on the bed, smiling, wearing my clothes, wearing my face. And me? I was gone. Or maybe not gone, just somewhere else. Somewhere behind the mirror, screaming, forever. And now that you've heard this, it knows you too. Can you hear it? You're still here, aren't you? Listening, breathing, wondering if it was just a story. But now, you've heard it. You've imagined it. You opened the door in your mind, and once it's open, it doesn't close. Maybe tonight, When your house is quiet and the world is asleep, you'll hear something. A creak in the floor, a whisper through the wall, a reflection that isn't quite you. Don't ignore it. It's just saying hello. After all, it already knows your name. Sleep well. And if you wake up at 3:13 a.m., don't open the door.